For thousands of years, the world's most powerful kings shared a terrifying secret. Their very own royal doctors were actively trying to drain them completely dry. These prestigious university-trained physicians possessed a deadly absolute faith in bloodletting, a primitive medical treatment that turned minor illnesses into swift, agonizing death sentences. This bizarre practice was rooted in the ancient teachings of Hippocrates and Galen, who argued that human health was entirely controlled by four vital bodily fluids. Known as the theory of the four humors, doctors believed the body must maintain a perfect balance between blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and dark black bile. According to this ancient logic, any physical sickness, fever, or pain was simply caused by having too much of one particular humor inside your system. More often than not, academic physicians concluded that patients suffered from a plethora, meaning an excessive, dangerous accumulation of blood clogging up their bodies. Therefore, the ultimate medical solution for almost every single disease was to immediately open a vein and let the excess, poisoned life force drain out completely. To achieve this, doctors used sharp metal lancets to slit veins, heated glass cups to suction blood, or applied slimy, hungry leeches to suck the skin. This created a tragic medical paradox. Poor peasants often survived severe illnesses simply because they could never afford to hire a fancy, university-educated doctor. By avoiding the local medical experts, these lucky peasants allowed their natural immune systems to rest and heal without enduring any aggressive, highly invasive medical interventions. But the wealthy European kings paid absolute fortunes to have a team of elite physicians systematically torture, weaken, and bleed them to the point of death. To see this tragedy in action, we must travel back to 17th century England and meet the powerful, charismatic Stuart monarch, King Charles II. On the chilly morning of February 2nd, 1685, the powerful king woke up in his royal bed at Whitehall Palace feeling unusually lightheaded and weak. Suddenly, while attempting to shave, the monarch collapsed onto the floor, his body shaking violently as he suffered a sudden, terrifying fit of mental confusion. Within minutes, over a dozen of England's most expensive royal physicians rushed into his bedroom, armed with sharp metal blades and ready to save his life. As the king lay helpless on his bed, the royal doctors immediately sliced open a vein in his right arm, draining 16 ounces of precious blood. Next, they applied heated glass cups to his skin, creating a vacuum that comically sucked out an additional 8 ounces of blood from his body. To purge the toxic humors from his head, the physicians shaved his royal hair and applied a blistering plaster made of toxic Spanish fly beetles. This highly caustic chemical compound caused the skin on his bald scalp to break out in giant, comically painful, and weeping watery blisters. Too desperate to empty his bowels, the team of 14 doctors forced the king to swallow a series of powerful, violently aggressive herbal laxatives. They administered a succession of climbing herbal enemas every few hours, further exhausting the king's dehydrated, rapidly weakening body during his intense suffering. To induce violent sneezing and clear his congested brain, the doctors forced a heavy dose of sneezing powder made from hellebore root up his nose. Still unsatisfied, the doctors performed a second round of bloodletting, opening his jugular vein to drain even more of his remaining life force. As the dehydrated king slipped into a deep, unresponsive coma, the panicked doctors desperately scrambled to find a powerful antidote to save him. They forced down his throat a highly prized, exotic medicine called a bezoar stone, which was actually a hard, undigested ball of animal hair. Next, they fed him a bizarre potion comically called the spirit of human skull, a highly concentrated distillate made from the bones of dead criminals. But these aggressive, highly toxic treatments only pushed the poor king's organs into complete failure, causing his kidneys to shut down entirely. Realizing that his end was near, the polite monarch looked at his exhausted physicians and whispered his famous, comically apologetic final words. He comically apologized to the gentleman for being such an unconscionably long time a-dying, before finally passing away on February 6th, 1685. With the English king dead, the medical world would soon face another high-profile crisis, this time across the sea in the late 18th century. Crossing over to the late 18th century, another medical crisis unfolded in Great Britain, where the powerful King George III began losing his mind. The king suffered from intense fits of agitation, comically talking non-stop for over 50 hours until he famously began foaming at his royal mouth. Terrified by this sudden madness, the royal court panicked, having absolutely no understanding of mental illness or the psychological pressures of the crown. The prestigious physicians immediately blamed his brain, arguing that excessive blood pressure inside his skull was causing this highly erratic and dangerous behavior. To protect the sovereign from himself, the desperate doctors placed the monarch into a tight, highly restrictive canvas straitjacket to completely paralyze him. They went even further, binding the absolute ruler of Great Britain to a heavy wooden chair to prevent any further comically chaotic movements. With the king successfully restrained, the royal doctors initiated their favorite universal treatment, immediately opening veins to bleed the royal patient once again. They placed hungry, slimy leeches onto his temples, believing that sucking blood directly from his forehead would cool his overheated and agitated brain. These aggressive bloodletting sessions were performed almost daily, which only served to drain the elderly king of his remaining strength and immune defense. But bleeding was only half of their bizarre protocol. The academic doctors also insisted on purging his system through violent, chemically induced vomiting. They forced King George to swallow heavy doses of tartaremetic, a toxic antimony compound that caused severe, agonizing spasms in his stomach. Tragically, 18th century antimony potions were frequently contaminated with high levels of arsenic, a deadly poison that attacks the human central nervous system. Unknowingly, the elite royal doctors were systematically poisoning their own king, worsening his physical condition and deepening his terrifying mental confusion with every dose. The monarch's bizarre illness dragged on for years, a painful cycle of restraints, bloodletting, and toxic purges that left him completely broken and weak. Yet, these horrific royal tragedies would eventually trigger a massive scientific revolution, forever destroying the ancient medical dogmas of the classical world. Centuries later, modern medical researchers finally examined the detailed diaries of the royal doctors, revealing the shocking truth behind these historical deaths. Scientific analysis proved that King Charles II actually suffered from severe chronic kidney failure, a condition made far worse by toxic mercury treatments. Meanwhile, testing on preserved hairs of King George III revealed toxic levels of arsenic, which had severely poisoned his fragile central nervous system. But for both powerful monarchs, the massive and relentless loss of blood was the actual catalyst that triggered fatal hypovolemic shock and cardiorespiratory arrest. Their aggressive medical treatments did not cure them, but systematically starved their vital organs of oxygen, effectively killing them much faster than their actual diseases. The beginning of the end for bloodletting finally arrived in the early 19th century, led by a brilliant and highly skeptical French physician named Pierre Louis, using a pioneering clinical method called the numerical system. Louis began collecting detailed statistical data on patients suffering from severe cases of pneumonia. His revolutionary study proved that patients who were bled early actually died at a significantly higher rate than those who received no medical treatment. This scientific revelation sent shockwaves through the global medical establishment, completely shattering the ancient academic authority of Galen's four humors. By the late 19th century, the rise of germ theory and bacteriology officially pushed the dangerous practice of bloodletting into the history books. Western medicine finally shifted focus from draining fluids to sterile hygiene, systematic hand washing, and targeting the actual microscopic pathogens causing physical disease. So, the next time your doctor orders a simple, modern blood test, take a deep breath and be glad they are only taking a tiny droplet. Remember the powerful historical kings who paid the ultimate price in blood to slowly pave the long, painful road towards safe modern medical science. If you love uncovering the gritty, bizarre, and shockingly true secrets of our dirty history, Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Chrono Daily. Thank you for watching, and stay curious, because the past is always much dirtier, weirder, and far more terrifying than the textbook authors ever want you to believe.